Piano man, front and center. What's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence? You ever played keyboards? Any techno?
No, I only play piano.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Are there any drummers in the house?
I play percussion.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
You gotta stop that with the fingers, dude.
Bro, I'm a loud and proud keys player.
Yeah, but I don't know.
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna do this when a keyboard is playing?
It looks like you're giving a deep tissue massage.
Dude, I'm playing the keys.
I don't know, man.
Should I be playing the drums, taking your spot? What are you
You can
gonna
do
doing?
that. That looks more like drums. It doesn't look like creepy hand massage.
You know, I'm bringing an actual keyboard next time.
Dude, I would love for you to do that. Maybe you can give us a piano lesson.
I should.
Do you know I took piano for a year? Worst year of my life.
How
I
about-
mean, I love my piano teacher. I'm still friends with him, but shout out to Andre Sarin.
We saw him at a gig, I remember.
We played a gig with him.
That's right.
Dude,
that's
before
right.
we go on to ranting, we should introduce JJ. Because we're totally neglecting him.
We're totally neglecting him.
No idea who you're talking about.
Hello, everyone in podcast land. This is our friend JJ. He is like this, awesome.
Coolest dude on the planet. Could not possibly be
I don't
nicer.
know,
Could
dude.
not possibly
big
be more
title.
good looking.
I don't
Could
wanna-
not possibly be more chill.
He's married. Just want to let you know. Oh, man. So, JJ, how are you feeling?
I'm doing fabulous.
Fabulous? You can get a little bit closer to the mic. There we go. We making beats already, man. So we are having JJ on this week because it is Sacramento Beer Week. We are in Greater Sacramento area.
Absolutely.
This counts as Sacramento. And we were like, dude, who better than to have JJ, beer guru, Buru? You're a Buru.
After a few.
After
I'll
a
be
few,
your buru.
you be my Buru. Definitely got hit on by a gay guy this week. Just
Who, you did?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I used to get hit on by gay guys when I worked at Costco way back when. Almost every day.
Really?
Almost every day when I was skinnier.
Were they blind?
Now, no. I'm telling you, it's the thin white guy that gets the gay guy. It's the thin.
This guy was
That's
like
why I started
60 years old.
Yeah.
And I gave him my business card because I was like, hey, trying to promote the drum lab. I was in Midtown because we're opening a school there. And I gave my business card. He called me yesterday. Definitely wanted to take me out on a date. And I said, I definitely am not gay.
Straight up asked you?
For sure. He was like, I'd like to take you out for drinks. And I was like, no, very not gay. And he was like, are you sure you don't want to swing just once?
I wish I could have gotten that on video.
Oh, dude, I wish I would not have gotten it. It was not a pleasant feeling. So,
That is so amazing.
sorry, definitely not gay. If everyone's hoping out there.
Well,
Have you ever had that happen, JJ?
See, I'm past the skinny white guy.
Yeah, see, he's not
okay.
as skinny. Exactly.
Just doesn't happen.
You
to me.
could pass for a good, nice, strong biker gay.
No, well, one time when I was working at Costco, one time, and a guy came up to me, and he literally went, he was like, would you like a massage? And he was like very like peculiar.
A massage at Costco?
Yeah, and at Costco, I was working.
You were
at
like, would you like a sample of these tortilla chips that we're
I was selling
featuring
cell
right
phones.
now?
I was a cell phone salesman at the time, and so I'm an 18-year-old kid. I have no idea what's going on. He comes up to me, says this, and I was like, no, I don't want a massage. Like, I had no idea what was going on. So he leaves, and then my coworkers are just busting up laughing behind me. They're like, you just got hit on by a gay prostitute. And I was like, I had no idea that was gay prostitute.
Well, it wasn't a prostitute, but it was awkward.
It was extremely awkward.
So, we have JJ on, and we'd like to hear about JJ. How was your week? Beer week. Is it crazy?
It's always crazy. A lot
Like-
of stuff going on this week.
In what way? What's beer week? Like, how does that...
Does that make you guys extra busy?
Absolutely. We got 10 days of Sacramento Beer Week. I think the event's been going on in this city for probably about 6 years or so. Most every big city has a beer week, and now some smaller places have some.
Is it during the same time frame or no?
No, it usually rotates. Like San Francisco Beer Week was a couple weeks. They used to be back to back, and people in the industry kind of got a little burnt out having like 20 straight days of events. So they got a week in between.
Because the local doesn't necessarily mean Sacramento. Local breweries is Great Northern Sacramento or Northern California. So it's like Frisco and here would be crazy. 2 weeks in a row of just nonsense.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, we at the pub we do 10 events in 10 days. So it's always been a big event for us for the last 4 years. This is our 4th year of doing it. And now we've opened up our brewery and restaurant last year. So now we got 2 different places doing
So
events.
before we go too far, I wanted to kind of, not everyone knows this area or just knows who you are. You own a place called Boneshaker Brew. How would you call it?
Boneshaker Public House is
Okay,
what we started.
Public
just
House,
right,
got
right
it.
here with you guys down the block.
We're neighbors. He's our neighbor.
We're special neighbors.
Neighbors with our favorite sponsor, the Drum Lab.
Won't you be my neighbor? I love that song.
That's what that gay guy said to me.
In that tone.
Neighbors with attitudes.
Won't you be my neighbor tonight, just once? So you guys have been open how long?
We're about 3.5 years.
3.5 years, cool.
Yeah, so
And then you guys just a year ago opened that one, right?
correct. Yeah, brewery and restaurant on the other side of Rockland.
So
Is that the one we played a gig at?
yeah.
Oh, that's a cool spot,
Awesome,
man.
thank you.
I loved
Thank
it.
you.
I loved it.
If you
Cool.
guys are in the area, you need to go to Boneshaker, either the public house or the restaurant, because it is amazing environment. I mean, their bar is made out of pennies. Like, who does that?
That is pretty sick.
It's really awesome. Like, there's bikes on the walls.
There's mason jars.
Mason jars that it's just a cool. Like, I'm not even trying to like.
To his horn.
Is this a horn
I
horn
think this is
tooting?
the toot horn section. I think this is where
We're
toot.
starting to
promises.
We'll do that off camera.
Every
but,
podcast we have a toot the horn
We
section.
toot
where
the guest horn.
Yeah.
Not onto the table, just in
We
words.
toot the hell out of it.
We'll do your horn so hard. So it is one of the coolest restaurants. Like public houses. Public house means like. Where would that word come from?
It used to be called a brewery public house, so it was kind of all together with a brewery. But most people say bar, and it's kind of semantics. But public house is something that's actually available, people of all ages.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
like-
Yeah, because there's kids in. I've seen kids in there before. Yeah.
it's family friendly, so that was big for us. But obviously, we're all about our craft beer. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just like your basically like your cheers for people who are into craft beer.
Awesome.
How often do you guys have music there? Do you guys try to get music like every Friday or anything like
Yeah,
that?
so at the brewery restaurant, we got every Saturday night live music. And then on Thursdays for about the last probably 2 months, we've been doing open mic, open jam. So it's been
Oh, nice.
I've been to that. That's cool.
really
So
talented
That's
people. coming
super
through
cool.
there.
there's a sick blues shredder kid there. Man, what a freaking
Guitar?
powerhouse
Yeah,
blues
little
player.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah,
right?
dude, so
That's
good.
dope,
I was
dude.
like,
That's super dope.
he just looked like a regular kid. Just went up there and shredded for like a half an hour. I was like, whoa.
I love that. Like artists like Alan Stone that like
Mm-hmm.
are just shredders are like really good, but they look like the weirdest people. But I love that about them.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
their. I
that's
think
the
it's their
thing.
appeal.
Yeah, totally.
So smaller public house that just got expanded a week ago.
Yep.
And you guys are doing. Is it the same menu at both places, or is it different?
No, it's
A little bit
it's
different.
Yeah, we at the pub we're known for our mac and cheeses. We got about 8 different types of mac and cheese, and then
We have a huge mac and cheese following, just so
We-
you know. Especially the ones in Iran.
we
All those kids in Iran.
we have 2 downloads in Iran. That's why we keep talking about Iran.
By
One
the
in
way-
Pakistan.
That's awesome.
So different menus.
Yeah, so we got that, and then another week or two we're adding a wood-fired pizza oven over here. So that
Oh,
would be
awesome.
Shoot.
because I need more calories. I need some more sort of pizza with my beer. So that's all
Dude,
good.
that's totally fine by me.
Yeah. And then on the other side of town at our brewery restaurant, we've got we got more of the burgers and that kind of stuff, ribs and whatnot. But we
And you
make
guys have
on
this
bread.
thing where you have like a whole chicken that you serve on like a.
beer can chicken.
Oh, it looks so good every
You don't
time I'm
like it,
there.
Dude, if
Can
I
of
would have known,
beer
I
up
would have
your
ordered
ass.
that.
You don't like
Well.
that. You just don't like chicken or beer.
Dude, I would have gone that
We
last
got-
time. I couldn't find
Yeah,
that.
it looks amazing. Every time I'm there, I see it, and I'm like, I gotta try that. That looks so good.
Well, you got to have 2 people for that one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Me and Oleg will go podcast. Frendz podcast. Well, we
At
might
Boneshakers.
do a Frendz podcast at Boneshakers.
Yeah, we've been thinking
Food
about like
review.
doing it at like random places.
there
Like
you go.
that would be.
So
that
we'll
would
go
be
do
awesome.
a live feed over there.
Yeah, when they have like an event or something.
We just had we had a pretty. How are we doing on the podcast side of fans? We just had a breakthrough moment. We started about 4 weeks ago And
not even 4 weeks. That's the thing. We started like 2.5 to 3 weeks ago, and we already have 500 downloads, which is
huge,
incredible. And the majority of the downloads are outside of Sacramento, which is amazing.
Yeah, which is shocking.
Which is amazing.
Doesn't
And-
really help JJ. Don't tell him that.
Hey, when they come to
just here to
visit,
make stuff up.
when they
That's all
come to visit,
More
they're gonna
reason
come
to visit Sacramento. Boneshaker.
Exactly.
But the breakthrough moment happened today. We were at Origins, which is a coffee place, the one that is right here in my hand, and
non-for-profit, right?
Non-for-profit, yeah. It's a really cool a business, and they help save girls out of sex slavery. That's what their profits go to. So all volunteers. But first time we were there, we were like, yeah, we're doing a podcast, and the girls there, they were like, oh my God, my grandpa listens to podcasts. And I was like, womp, womp, womp.
Didn't you say something like, oh, well, how does he hear? Or
Hey,
something?
let's not go into that. Yeah, let's not go into that.
We'll not. No,
we already made fun of me
embarrassing
last
moments.
time.
No more embarrassing surge moments.
So
You've had
we
a rough day.
were just not cool that day. I was like, dang, are we sure we want to do this thing? We're just starting out. Today, all those girls signed up as subscribers, and they're like, where do you guys do? Every Wednesday you're here. And plus four followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it. We're breaking out in the teenage girls market.
We're breaking
out.
And
we're trending.
We've already gotten hit up with emails. By the way, I think we're forgetting to respond to our emails.
I responded to one of them. Did you read that one?
To Phil?
No.
Oh, okay.
To the other podcaster in our area.
No. I was gonna respond, and I'm like, okay.
I made fun of you in the email. Sorry.
Did you? What did you say?
Nothing.
I'm gonna read it right now. Live on air.
Hey, don't do that. But anyway, so we're gonna just bulldoze over JJ. We did that to Josh.
we do that every
Okay,
podcast.
I just like the fact that you guys are on the multi-generational thing. You got,
Dude. And guess what? One of those girls in there is turning 21 next Wednesday. We are bringing her to Boneshaker after work,
sounds like a party.
and we're gonna give her all kinds of craft beers.
Bring your grandpa too.
Yeah. Well, let's not bring him.
No, so that would have been a good time.
Grandpa and 21-year-old granddaughter, and 30-year-old Serge.
Well, the other day I was walking by one of my coworkers. You know, she's like in her 50s, and I was like talking to somebody about having Bone Shakers on today, and she was like, "Oh, I love Bone Shakers." I was like, "Oh, dang!"
Did you tell her to listen?
Yeah, I did.
What did she say?
Yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll totally check it out." So yeah,
So,
we
okay.
got 5 subscribers in one day.
5. Okay, Boneshaker. What does that mean? Where does that come from? Like, can you give us the story of like
how you got started?
Yeah, why would you even open up a public house? What's the background
why the hell would you? That is the question.
I'm asking that myself every day of my business life.
Well, I was up in Bend, Oregon for 7 years, and my mom and I had a fine dining Italian restaurant.
But you're from here.
From here originally, moved to Colorado a couple years, Florida for a couple years, and then to Oregon. And
it's that witness protection that you guys are on.
pretty much, you got to.
Got it.
Italian restaurant.
He's
right?
He might be a Navy SEAL. We never know. He might be the guy that
We should be nice to him so we don't find out.
Yeah.
So
we but I had a passion for craft beer, and moving back to this area, wanted to start a brewery, but in the short term, we decided to open up the public house because it was more accessible, a little quicker to be able to get that going and bring some good craft beer to the area that was pretty void of it 4 years ago.
So you don't have to. Because 4 years ago it wasn't as blown up as it is now.
We had maybe like 6 breweries in the greater Sacramento area. It was really at a kind of a low spot. So
what is it now? Do you know?
we got to be closer to 25.
Wow.
25.
That is I mean, that's like 4 years?
4 years. It's been
Wow.
pretty
That's
amazing.
like almost 100% growth.
Yeah. And then
No, more than that.
400% maybe.
Well,
something
400.
like
Yeah. Sorry, I meant 100%.
This is the non-accountant of the show, just so that we're clear.
That's like 10% more than the other time.
that. Here's this one.
Yeah.
Hey.
2, 3, 4, 5, 7,
Hey,
8.
I heard an awesome quote from Dave Grohl.
He
I
used
love
to be this fast, and now he's this fast. Okay.
You guys are assholes. Hey, listen.
I'll be signing up for lessons real
Hey,
soon.
at least I know how to count to 5 or 4. That one podcast when Oleg was like, "Yeah, that's like 3 people." No, it's definitely 4. We had our moments. Hey, I read a quote from Dave Grohl. It said, "I love being the drummer because everyone thinks you're stupid, but without them, their band without you, their band would suck." So
Where's that from?
Dave Grohl.
Oh, okay.
So you guys can laugh at me all you want, but your band's gonna suck without me. Just if you plan to make a band,
It's probably true.
no. I meant like 100% each year. That's what I meant. Yeah, I wasn't that stupid.
That's true. I like that.
This whole time he was like thinking of a comeback. I was saying each year. Each year.
It's
If I keep
live.
talking, I'm gonna think of something that makes sense.
Serge is actually good at that. I've noticed you're good at that.
What?
You're good
Getting
at like
myself at him?
distracting the audience and then boom, coming back with the comeback. He
Hey,
always
look,
does
it's a
that crap.
puppy.
Yeah. That's
What
skills
color
right
is
there.
this cat?
Yeah, skills. Right there. Oh gosh, let's not get into this freaking dress.
Okay.
I disagree with everybody. It's green and purple.
You need to stop doing LSD.
Why is it turning in circles?
And it moves
Color
in the
it is.
picture. It moves in the picture multiple times.
He keeps staring
It
at me.
smells like orange. What?
Why is it a scratch and sniff picture?
Oh man. Okay, so back to you. Back on track.
So wait. So there's actually a Boneshaker fan that had a specific request for me when I told her that we were having Boneshaker. She wanted me to ask you about a Lincoln brewery. What is that all about?
Gotcha. So, Beerman's, which was a brewery restaurant out there from probably 10, 12 years ago, shut down, and then it was sat vacant for a while. And most recently, Knee Deep Brewing, which is in Auburn, they had used it for about 3 years, not for their whole restaurant part, but they had leased the equipment was still there for brewing. So they vacated that because they built a really big facility now, and so we are coming in there to basically work out of that 15-barrel brew house system. So
Oh, nice.
we're getting ready to, or just launched our Black Vinyl Ale project, which is all sour, wild, and barrel-aged beers. So we'll be able to do both Boneshaker beers and the Black Vinyl project out of there, so we can start both canning and bottling stuff and getting some more.
Yeah,
things out from
I meant to ask you, like, when are you guys gonna start breaking out on that scene? But you just answered my question.
Yeah, probably about a month we'll start brewing. We're just waiting for the rest of the government bureaucratic
Oh,
awesomeness.
that's beautiful. I just signed a second lease to a new location, and it has been like, my forehead is literally numb. I don't know why. If there's any doctors that listen to this show, thank you, landlord. New landlord gave me a nice numb forehead for like 3 days. So I don't know. Stress.
Sign it! Sign it! Sign it!
So how long have you had Boneshakers for?
So we've had the pub for
3.5
3.5 years.
3.5
And
years.
we've had
Okay,
the
so
brewery restaurant for it'll be a year come this April.
okay, so still pretty new.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
so
we never finished the story
Yeah,
of how why did you call it Boneshaker, and how did you got started here just to quickly get rolling.
Yeah, I mean we didn't know how it was going to take off as quick as it did and everything, but the long term was also to start a brewery. So but I was looking actually at places in Portland. I was in Bend for the 7 years, like I said. And everywhere around there, it's all about biking. For probably 6 months, I didn't even have a car. I could just walk and
Really?
bike everywhere because
Man, I
everything's
gotta
close.
move there.
So yeah, that was a big part of it. The original man-pedaled bike was called a Velocipede by the manufacturers, but the common name was a Boneshaker because you had cobblestone streets and metal or wood rims. So when you rode it, you'd literally shake your bones. So the common name was called a Boneshaker. So tying in kind of that biking culture and stuff of Oregon, moving back down here, I wanted to kind of keep that lifestyle that we had in Oregon, kind of the work hard, play hard type thing. And so that's the name. But
That's awesome, man. That's cool to know the history behind that. I love finding that stuff out because, like, what?
I feel like especially
I'm
today,
glad it's
a
not
name
just
is so
like,
important.
yeah,
Like the new place that opened up in downtown, the Federalist, and like these like cool like unique names. I feel like are so important.
I think
you know?
that nowadays business, like in small business, you have to have something that people can connect to, whether it's like why it's there, what it does, not whether. All of those things have to matter nowadays. Like if you want to open up a restaurant, there has to be a reason, there has to be a story, there has to be like a specific a path to from zero to open to the product. It's not just product. It's like, where's the product made? How is it made? Why are you making it? Is it gluten free? You know, like that kind of thing. How much are the employees getting paid? You know, where do they live? All that stuff matters nowadays.
Yeah.
And like as a business owner, like I'm realizing that like that has a huge impact on your business. Like all those T's have to be crossed and I's have to be dotted because like people care about that stuff, especially. And when you do have it done, when you do it right, like you're doing your place is growing like crazy, and people want to connect to it because like I want to support the small business guy or the guy that's doing this for the right reasons.
Yeah,
And
for
the
sure.
place just looks legit.
Thank you.
Who's the brains behind the designs? Like all they're different. Both places look different, but they have the same like DNA.
Right. Yeah. I wanted to kind of create. I don't know. I call it like Northwest urban. It's almost something that you'd expect in Portland. You know, you come into a strip center that you have out here in suburbia. They kind of all look the same, and there's not a lot of buildings that you can get that are cool and old. So you basically got to create the inside yourself. So when you walk in, I wanted it to feel totally different. So pretty much at the pub when we first started out, every bit of wood that's in there is recycled from our bar tops. They were actually doors from a law office in Sacramento.
That is so sick. That is
yeah.
so sick.
And the fence boards that are up were like from neighbors that were tearing down fences and stuff off of Craigslist.
I mean, it looks like you went to a designer and the designer said, "Okay, this company you can order this style," but you're literally using like old-fashioned doors.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
just designed it ourselves. And
How many pennies is that in the bar? It's a big bar.
Yeah, over at the brewery, that's
$30,000.
It is. It's between 30 and 35,000 pennies, but that only translates to about $325. So
that's
Dang.
the good news is
that's still an
we
investment.
made a really cool copper thing for like $350 and a lot of hours.
Yeah. If you haven't had a chance, just go over to it's on off of Granite Drive in Rockland, right?
Yep.
You guys have a website?
Yeah, it's boneshakerbrew.com, and then the pub is boneshakerpub.com.
Okay, cool.
So when you guys designed it, you guys didn't like consult a designer. It was all you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we started with the pub. Like I said, that was just kind of me doing that stuff and getting some recycled materials and friends of friends that would lead us to other materials that were just recycled. The brewery was a lot bigger, so when we started in that space, I'm thinking, man, I don't know enough people who are tearing down their fences that I can use that much.
So you just
recycled
started robbing people?
Yeah, everybody. All of a sudden, we went back to
you're
open
tearing down your
ranches.
fence tonight at midnight. You
Rockland
just don't
is
know it
ranches
yet.
again. It's all wide open. What happened?
People start coming. That looks a lot like my fence.
Yeah. So yeah, I've sourced a company in Concord that is a fence company that basically recycles the wood, and so we were buying used wood from them. And then my mom was a builder and a designer and stuff, so I was around it. And then she joined me in getting that thing open, the brewery part. So we just bouncing ideas. She made most of the we have big growlers that are basically our whatever they're called, the lighting and so forth, and big old barrels and stuff. So just a lot of cool recycled materials and coming up with creative ways to use materials.
Even that new room that you guys opened, the stage room, like the venue room, that's like a lot of recycled like vinyl, right? Just old vinyls that are on the walls.
Yeah, that and pallets and stuff like that. So yeah, anything that we could find that
That's so cool.
repurpose is always fun.
That actually reminds me. So why do you guys at that location don't have like a door that goes from the actual restaurant to the music venue?
Just to keep it separate?
You just want to keep it like a separate feel?
The short story of it, we basically were only going to take the main area, and then we had the opportunity to kind of take this other area that was adjacent to it. And so we weren't sure if we were going to do it, but then once we launched the Black Vinyl Ale Project, we wanted to have a tasting room for that as well, and we had to have room for all of our barrels to do all of our barrel aging and stuff. So since it had the stage in there, it was perfect because we could. I mean, that's the whole concept of Black Vinyl is we're music lovers, and to integrate our craft beer with music is what it's all about with that thing. So it's perfect. We had the stage, we had a little bar there, so we were able to do the tasting room. So anyway, it was kind of a
last second thing.
It was like an add-on thing. So it wasn't like we built that place to converge, but we wanted to be able to work autonomously at times as well. So that's kind of the idea with it.
Well, how long does that? This is a random question, but it makes sense to what you said. How long does like barrel aged beer? Is it like as long as wine? Is that how long it takes?
It can be. It depends on what it is. If you say you're going to have an imperial stout and you're going to age it in a bourbon barrel or something like that. If it's a fresh bourbon barrel, or what we call wet barrels, that will actually, I mean, you could probably get it in there for 10 days and it would still impart some of that flavor. Usually that's still going to be more like 1 to 3 months maybe, and sometimes it could be longer, but it's you're kind of checking as you go to get the flavor profile that you want. And then with the sour beers, those are, on the short end, very short end would be 4 or 5 months, but realistically it's probably 6 months. could be as long as 18 months. And so when you start talking about wild yeast, and it kind of works at its own pace and so forth. So it's the same thing. You're sampling every now and then, and as you have more and more barrels that are doing different types of things, you might decide, hey, I like that part of that, but I want some of this over here, and so you can actually start blending the stuff.
Like a
from the
blend, like a
barrels.
wine blend.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's, when people look at some of the costs and the expense of sour beers, it's like, well, you got to look at it more like it's a wine versus just a beer. It's not like you just ferment it in 3 months or 3 weeks and then all of a sudden you've got the product. It's you have that process, and then you've got all that aging and blending, and so
It's almost like you're an artist. I mean, not to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
You're like Leonardo da Vinci, beer version.
Beer Vinci.
Beer Vinci.
Beer Vinci was there.
Okay. So a little bit about your music life. Is it you just always just been a casual music lover, or did you actually play music like in a band and school or anything like that? Or
yeah, I mean, I was always a music lover since the time I was a kid. I started getting suckered in like you to try to like maybe learn keyboards or something when I was in high school.
Don't
but
do keyboards. Keyboards suck.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well for me.
Look at him over there, keyboards.
Unbelievable anti-keyboardist movement over here.
This is the rhythm section side of the table.
Hey,
I could replace a full drum set with my keyboard.
This guy can do all of it, so he can't.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Right. We had this
Sure.
argument once a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Tune in, everybody.
Tune in.
Do I have
Go
my
back
stripes
to
on? I was
archives.
hoping I could be the referee.
Yeah.
So casual, like a music lover.
Yeah, and then that was during high school. I tried to take a few lessons, but I was always an athlete, so there was just never time. It was like one sport to the next, or blah 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 blah. So,
Just multiple sports or just one?
yeah, multiple sports. And then went away to college. I was going to play football in college, but I kept hurting myself and my knee and blah blah blah. And I always wanted to play. So the guy who became my best friend in college was a phenomenal guitarist, and so he kind of taught me the bass, probably just enough to like hold down. Whatever.
It's like in School of Rock.
School
Remember
of Rock,
G G
that's
G
right,
G
yeah,
G
exactly,
G
yeah,
G.
just keep it rocking.
Shallow,
Keep it rocking. Bah, bah, bah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the idea, and it was incredibly awkward. I mean, you're going like, my hands aren't made for doing this, but it's just like anything over time. It's repetition. So. Then after a couple of years of playing with different people, I actually really wanted to make music. I want to make albums and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. But you know how that is. It's just tough to keep a band together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
We know
music's
very
always
well.
there, but yeah, it's
Trust me. It's like dating a girl with 5 different personalities.
exactly.
Well, actually, just dating like a regular girl.
We've gone through probably every bass player in Sacramento.
Yes.
That's impressive.
JJ, you want to be in our band?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm up next. Sure to not be invited on the next podcast after that.
Yeah. Hey, but that's really cool. I love it when there's like small business owners that have more interest than just their business.
Yeah.
You have interest in music, so you're gonna have a music side of your business. You like sports, so that kind of expands your mind towards things. You know, it's like when Kevin Johnson became mayor. I mean, who was he running against?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but she didn't want nothing to do with sports and didn't want a new arena or nothing. And now we got this new arena because we have a mayor that likes sports.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it.
We would have probably lost that arena if someone else was in the position. of the driver's seat.
Exactly. So when I see like small business owners like, oh, I used to play music or I used to play sports, I'm like, that's awesome. That's why I think that's part of the reason why you're successful with this thing, because you got the music venue and that
What do you guys like? So you're starting to brew your own. You're brewing regular beer, and then you're doing this barrel stuff, right? I don't mean to like just call it stuff, but I'm just call it barrel. What would you call it? Well, aged.
Barrel aged.
Oh, barrel aged.
Or the sour beers.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. All the beer lovers out there, please don't hate me. I didn't. Just barrel stuff.
They'll be slapping you with a steak.
What do you think? Like as a brewer, what do you think? And like, does beer follow a trend? Because it's like it popped up out of nowhere. Like you said, 4 or 5 years ago, it was not a big deal. Now it's like this. It's like that's it. There's like bars don't open up anymore. It's like these public houses open up, or places that only serve microbrews or local brews. Do you think there's going to be a shift in trends as far as other places like that, or do you see is there like an insight? Basically, is my question. In 5 years from now, where do you think it looks like? Or do you know? If not, it's cool too.
I mean, you never know for sure. But when I moved back down here 4.5 years ago, I kind of said we're about 5 to 10 years behind Portland, which I had been to a lot. So at the time that we had 6 breweries roughly in this greater area that's very similar in size to Portland, there was probably 40 to 45 breweries in Portland, and they really weren't even close to a saturation point, which you'd think that that's a ton, and it is, but it's a cultural thing there. So I mean, it's we had a hard time at first at the pub getting people to feel comfortable having a beer at lunch. And then going back to work.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you're in Bend, you're in Portland, you're probably having a beer or two, and then you're going back to lunch like every day. That's just kind of, it's almost like an Irish thing or whatever.
Yeah, or European thing where people are like, kids have wine like when they're kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's a normal thing.
For sure. So that shift, I mean, now obviously in these last 4 years, there's been a lot of catch up, but there's farther along that we can go, and it's like probably any business that has these trending upward things, is you get people who are passionate about it and try to do things right, and you get other people who maybe are opportunists more than they are passionate about it, and so they try to jump
They think
on
it's cool, it'll be fun.
It's like, I can make money this way, and it's like, it's just like you guys are talking about. It's, you get into business, obviously you want to be profitable and you want to have success that way, but if you don't have a passion for it, it's never really going to be a sustained thing. So,
That's really good.
and I think that's where, if it's not going to be a matter of saturation, as there's going to be probably some delusion of people who aren't doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a falling out there, but I think like any other business, if people are passionate about it, they're creating a good product, good environment for people to enjoy that, and kind of just building up that culture. I mean, we're still only 8 to 10% of the entire entire beer market in the United States is craft beer. So that's why there's
we as in
craft
California,
brewers.
or
No, just like craft brewers, period.
Oh.
So
Oh,
that's
wow,
why
that's a
there's-
small amount. I would think like it would be more, because you always see like it's a big, and it's such a big deal.
Yeah. Well,
Wow,
it's
that's
growing. The beer market is shrinking overall, but that's because the buds and those kind of people are losing market share.
To you guys, to not you. Well, yeah, you guys.
So, the craft brewers, and so that's expanding a lot. So that's why there's such a camaraderie. It's more of a sense of, hey, we're in this together.
Yeah,
fraternal
little
thing.
guys against the big guys.
Pretty much, yeah. So we got a long way that we can continue to grow.
And that's kind of interesting, because especially when I went to college, everybody that was a business major was always like, I'm starting a business. So it seems like everybody and their mom wants to start a business, but very few people actually do
JJ
it.
and his mom.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
So don't
See?
make fun of that.
Well, yeah, well, but very few people actually do it. So one thing I'm always really curious about, especially with small businesses. So when you started this thing, how you had startup costs. We just had City Scout on, which pretty much has no startup costs because of the nature of the business.
Right.
But with your nature of your business, how much of a risk did you feel like you were putting into this business when you were starting it? Because I always wonder, like, people that start businesses, I mean, if it's going to work, if it's not going to work, if you're good at it, if you're not. So how much of a risk did you feel like you were taking?
It's like anything. I guess everybody has a different risk tolerance. Mine's fairly high, but that's only because I'm only going to do something I believe in. So then I'm willing to risk more. But I had one silent partner that's involved, a friend of mine, and so to me it's like, now if I'm using somebody else's money that's helping me do this, somebody else is involved and invested in me.
Oh, gotcha.
Then I'm feeling 10 times more responsibility
because somebody else is confident in you.
Somebody else has put their trust in me, and so I want to make sure that they're going to to benefit from that, and so that's the part where it becomes more like, hey, I really want to make sure that this is going to get dialed in, and then then taking that and growing and doing our brewing restaurant. We already had a known entity that was successful and a kind of a comfort level, and so to go, okay,
now we're talking about the Italian thing.
No, this is with the pub.
Got it.
Pub, and then going and doing the restaurant brewery. That was a much bigger capital outlay.
Yeah.
Going from, hey, I've already got a known factor that's successful and doing well, to, okay, now we're gonna go do this because I've had this vision of wanting to do it, but I don't really need to do it, but I want to, so we're gonna do it. But you're now you're risking a lot more,
right?
Even though it's house money, sort of, it's still a big risk because that's your future.
Did you?
And it's bigger, like
for sure,
much bigger.
Yeah. more overhead, everything. So it's definitely a bigger challenge.
So when you started, did you start advertising right away? How do you get people to come through the door?
Actually, from the pub standpoint, other than joining the Chamber of Commerce, we've never spent $1 on marketing.
No way!
It's all been
just word of mouth,
grassroots stuff. I mean, from going around handing out some flyers. Hey, we're new in the neighborhood originally, to social media, obviously, and then word of mouth is this.
Because everybody knows about it. Like where I work, everybody knows Boneshaker.
It's because it's quality product.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So why do you think you're at the point you're at now?
I don't know. I mean, I think that.
Because like from my stand, like me and Serge could talk all day. Like you got a really cool spot. You have a music venue. Your product is
well. The
good,
music venue has only started recently, so it's mainly this little place here.
So mainly this thing. So from your point of view, like you're giving advice to like somebody starting up a small business. What do you say?
Well, I think you got to. I mean, I think we kind of touched on it. You have to have passion for what you're doing. I think
that's key, huh?
Having knowledge for it. My wife was involved with the two of us. Kind of started up, and we were there. 100 hours a week, every day. If you came into that place any day of the week, you're going to see one of us. And I think that you brought it up, like where's things from and who's behind it and whatever. If there's a more tangible thing, these are the people that are owning, operating, and putting their
this is not a 40. So this is not a 40-hour-a-week deal.
Sweat equity. It's called sweat equity, folks.
Especially when you're first getting going, man. It's all in, and so. For us, it was always about creating a place that we wanted to be. If we created that place, we felt like other people would want to be there. So,
that's smart.
Treating people well, creating a place where we could educate people about beer, and so every time they come in, they get to try something new, and maybe we can share some other information, and it becomes a little more interactive than. Yeah, there's 5 beers. Have one. It's more than that.
You guys have great staff too. I think that always, like every time I'm in there, like sometimes that I don't announce who I am, like that I'm a neighbor. And one of the guys was like, "Why don't you just tell me you're a neighbor? You get a discount here." I'm like, I don't know. It's like I feel cheesy going like, "Hi, I'm a neighbor."
What kind of deals do you have for your neighbors?
For neighbor.
And I've been a neighbor for 20 years, so.
So I don't. There's no tooting my horn segment when I walk in. So I just kind of walk in. I go there because I like it. Like I would go in there if I didn't live here. And so that's because I have a problem. But no. But the guys and the gals there are always like, I'm always like, yeah, I don't have a very like big preference, but I'm like, I like trying different things. And so they always give me really good like
and
advice.
they're always super chill. Like I hate coming into
really
like
relaxed,
Starbucks where they're like, "Hi there, good morning. How may I help you this morning?"
Well,
and I'm like,
they're trying to.
I'm just
They're
like,
trying to wake you up, dude.
No,
it's
but
coffee. It's not beer.
Talk
Social
to me like,
caffeine.
Yeah, talk to me like a human being, not like a robot. When I came to Boneshaker, like everybody was super cool. Like, yeah, like try this, try that. Like, do you tell people to be like that, or is it just you guys?
No, micromanage?
I try not to micromanage at all. It's if I get too involved in that, then they probably shouldn't be there. But it's, I mean, you definitely have a standard of what you expect, but it's finding the people that fit that naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried with different people to have them come in there, and they might be really good at something, but they're not necessarily good at something else. So it's like you want to try to get the people who are gonna have a good sense of being responsible as employees, but also being personable and having basically you're like you're saying your people that work for you are your brand.
They're your face.
Yeah, you're talking. That's how you're building your community right there. So we've been fortunate to have, we don't have very much turnover. We kind of, we do have some new people every now and then as we grow and whatnot. But for the most part, it's like you go in there and you're going to know one of the 3 or 4 or 5 bartenders that are there at any given time usually.
Yeah, they're always great. Yeah, and I've never had a bad experience there.
Cool. It's always good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
So, next step is the Lincoln location. It's not going to be a public location, right? You're just going to be doing brewing there and bottling, right?
Brewing, and then we will have hours where you can come and fill up growlers and get some tastes and stuff like that. If it works out, we'd love to have a little tasting room over there, but with the way the property is designed, that may or may not work out. So as of right now,
because Lincoln would be a good market too, right?
Yeah, we get a ton of people there for the pub. I mean, they've asked us since day one, like, hey, get one of these out here. So it's a little bit different, and we wouldn't have the restaurant part. It would still be nice to be able to have a presence there as
Yeah.
a retail standpoint. So
So are you guys doing testing or tasting there right now? How do my friend know about this place? She lives in Lincoln.
that's probably why. And,
So
then,
she
and,
just-
the, and the
she just
Bierman's
saw
building is a historic building. It was a original Oddfellows building.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
it's almost 13,000 square feet, and it's a beautiful.
It's that one
cool
on the
building.
left when you're driving into Old Lincoln on the left.
Actually, to the right, you go down like Fifth Street, I think it is.
Oh,
about
it's
a
not
block
right
down.
off the main
Correct.
road.
Yeah, it's about one block off, and
Got it.
so the gentleman who owns the property and built the restaurant from the brewery originally. Put a ton of multi-millions into this place, and I guarantee you, if you stuck that building in downtown Sacramento or a high population place,
It'd be crazy.
It would kill it. It's just such a cool building.
I gotta check it out.
But
Maybe I'll stop by next time you're there.
yeah, I don't even know when I'm going to be there, but you should come.
I'll
have a
be
party.
there. I'll be waiting.
We'll jump around in the brewing equipment and just woo shiny vessels, rub it. If I rub it right, will the magic genie come out and create some
Shiny
barrel aged
vessels.
beers?
The beer genie.
You're so copper.
So
That's
are-
awesome, dude. When is that? Is that you guys already actively working there or not yet?
No, we're about a month away, I think, until we get our approval for permitting stuff, because you got to go federal, which we've gotten that, and now we're waiting for the ABC, which is our California state licensing.
Yeah, that's
so.
the food and food and alcohol stuff is not easy to acquire, huh? The licensing and everything.
It depends on your city and what you're doing.
how much of a pain is the government with all that?
It's
Big
a pain.
Yeah.
It's a pain. I mean, this is when I get off of my tirade about, especially in the federal level, it took us like 4 months to get approval. And the thing is that we don't pay for that licensing, but what the TTB does is basically a tax
Right.
organization. I mean, that's what they are.
Yeah.
And so the sooner that we start brewing beer, the more the sooner we start paying taxes on the amount that we brew. So
Right.
that obviously is beneficial to them and beneficial for
Yeah.
so stands to reason, like, if you're understaffed and it's taking that long to do it, hire some more people, create some more jobs, and then start collecting tax dollars
Yeah.
from us sooner. So it's
Right.
So all the time with the government stuff is like that.
yeah,
I hear so many people that start businesses that started them like before like 2000. Every single one of them tell me if I would have to start my business today, I wouldn't be able to do that because of the amount of regulations that
A lot
are
of-
increased now.
yeah.
So
It's
that's pretty
tough.
impressive that you were able to start during this time. And I don't know how hard the regulations are, but I mean, I hear that all the time. So every time I see something like this, I'm like, man, how did they start their business when all these other businesses are like, there's no way I could have started
Yeah.
it today.
It's tough. And I like I said, grew up here, but I didn't ever have like an LLC here, and I had one in Oregon. Oregon, you file for an LLC, it costs you $50, and the next day you have your paperwork.
Wow.
Here, you file it, costs you money. It might take you 2 months before you get your paperwork back. And then by doing that, you're saying, I'm going to pay $800 in fees this year, whether I sell $1 or of anything, I still have to pay $800
Yep.
for that. Then
Right.
then it's a sliding scale, and as you sell, they charge fees based on your,
The tier of like
yeah, and it's sales. It's not income or profits. So
It's just strictly
your
sales.
Your profit margins are shallow, then you're
you're still,
screwed.
it doesn't matter, So in the
That's
restaurant
crazy.
industry, which are notoriously horrible margins, you could do $2 or $3 million and have to pay $12,000 in fees, and you're like, wait, where's that supposed to come from?
Yeah.
That's not like hanging out in my back pocket.
Kids college fund. Sorry, kids. Try to open a restaurant or something.
Let's just pull that out. Here you go.
Well, if you are, there is another business that we know that is pretty awesome at what they do.
Well, I was
They're
gonna-
called buzzhive.net.
Well, I was going to ask you, Serge. I'm looking to start a business about Brazilian goat milk,
Well,
and I
actually,
need a
Buzzhive,
website. I
they
need a
have
website.
they're very specialized in the Brazilian goat milk market.
Can they make me a logo with
They
a
can make
Brazilian
you a logo
goat
for free
with milk?
and milk. A goat shooting out milk out of his eyeballs.
Really?
And a website will be for free. All you got to do is sign up for their marketing program. That's it.
I don't believe this. So you're telling me my Brazilian goat business could get started online tomorrow for free?
Tomorrow. Not tomorrow. He can't beat that fast. Jason was fast with our logo, but he wasn't.
Wow. But it's free.
Its website is for free. By the way, JJ, if you need a website redone, rebuilt, whatever, our friend Jason at buzzhive.net. He's our good, loyal sponsor and fan of the show. Number one fan of the show, probably.
Number one fan.
He built our website and our logo, and he did an awesome job, and he does that for any business out there for free. All you got to do is sign up for their marketing, and he does awesome. I actually spent like an hour with him on the phone. Blew my marketing mind.
Sounds like
Marketing
a
mind was blown.
My mind and my brain too.
Yeah. Oh, that's just cool. He's like my mind and my brain and my head or something like that.
So buzzhive.net, check them out.
It means I was drunk yesterday.
Yeah. There was a scene. They're like, "What's a hangover?" And she's like, "It means you're drunk." He's like, "No, it means I was drunk yesterday."
You're an alcoholic, man. You got a problem.
That's right. It means you're an alcoholic. No.
We totally botched buzzhive.net's promo, but it's okay. We got it out there. We got the
I'm
word
gonna
out there.
say Buzzhive
Hey,
again, 'cause that's awesome.
buzzhive.net, buzz, buzzhive.net. They do an awesome job. They do amazing service, honest, and just top-notch marketing and web development.
Just
and,
go on our
and
website.
branding.
Go on our website, check it out, and you'll see it for yourself how good this guy is.
Yeah, he's
Awesome
amazing.
website.
Our logo was done by him in a matter of... I was still on the phone with him while he was doing my logo, and then he emailed me, said, "Hey, check out the logo I just made you. Do you like it?" And I was like, "What?"
And it was literally what was in my head. Remember, I was
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
want the F, the Z.
It was like
got
I was
down.
telling him what my idea was about I told him about the podcast, and I told him what we're doing, and then I hear it's like, I'm like, "Are you doing that right now?" And he was like, "Yeah, just hold on for a second. All right, check your email." And they had the logo, and it was exactly what I wanted. So, a little plug for them, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
You educated us well beyond my expectations. Oleg hates
I'd
beer,
hate to
so
see where those
you got to
expectations
talk to
were.
this guy, man.
I'm a whiskey guy. I'm a whiskey
he
guy.
likes whiskey, but
we got like 6 whiskey and bourbon barrel-aged beers on tap tonight.
Really?
so
on tap tonight.
Why not have bourbon and beer?
We might. Is it still open?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we might have to wrap it up right now because we got to go. There's a storm outside, and I just got.
Wait. So
we have to evacuate the premises right now.
We're getting the shakes. We're getting the shakes.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
No, but wait. So quick question, because I'm actually curious about this. So why are there whiskeys out there? Some places have whiskeys that are like $200 a shot. Why is that? How?
That's a good question.
Why would, like, I don't understand how could it actually be worth $200 for a shot of whiskey? Like some places have like a 30-year $200. I'm like, why? I don't understand that.
A lot of it goes to how long it's been aging. There's a quality to that happens to it.
Yeah,
you
but
also
there's
gotta
like
think
other
about-
ones that are like 25 years and they're $8.
It's all about branding, right?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's
like,
just
what, did
like
it
a
take
T-shirt
seven
costing
Chinese
$200,
people? Yeah.
and then a T-shirt costing $5
Without
at
the logo.
H&M.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen white T-shirts that have the designer's like name over here, and like which Nordstrom was it? I think it was San Francisco. They have like a whole section like where it's like designer stuff.
And it was just
Or
plain
it
white
was,
tee.
I forget what store it was, but it was like really plain shirts that were like $200, but because of the designer, I don't know,
And it was just plain white.
decided
plain white shirt.
which white the knitting was supposed to be or whatever.
Well, it's like Lululemon. Like Lululemon's gym clothes, it's a plain gray like workout
Branding.
clothes, and it's like $80.
Yeah.
it's branding.
Never buy that. So.
Never.
Made
Especially
in-
you
made
look
in-
really weird in
made in
women's
Taiwan.
yoga pants. Just want to throw that out there.
Well, we played a gig there, like for a Lululemon thing, and instead of paying us, they gave us like $300 worth of Lululemon clothes, and I was like, "Sweet, $300 worth of clothes." It was like two
Well, it
things
was
because
like-
everything's like $150.
All it was like, I'm so excited. Sweet, cute clothes coming my way. What's up? Squats for days. Anyways, dude.
Almost.
Awesome. Dude, thanks for having us. Frick, I do this every time.
You're welcome. You can come into my studio anytime you want.
Dude, do you know? You know how many times I do that? Every single episode, I go, "Thanks for having us." It's like a curse.
Yeah, it's automatic.
It's like
Thanks
a
for having
curse.
us on your podcast.
Okay, so thanks for coming on to our show, our humble show. That's international.
It is international.
We even have ISIS listening to us.
We
There's a
have-
guy, 3 guys in Iran listening to us.
We got like
I'm pretty sure there is affiliated.
we got 12 downloads in Spain. Like
Huge.
we got to give a shout out to Kansas yet again.
Kansas.
50 downloads from Kansas.
we are-
Kansas represents.
It goes
Kansas,
Sacramento.
Sacramento, Kansas, then Seattle, then
I thought it was
LA.
Seattle first.
Oh, it might be.
Seattle
Maybe.
first, then Kansas.
and then LA, and then Anaheim.
I mean, huge in Kansas. Huge.
Yeah,
Kansas,
yeah.
we love you guys.
Kansas, we love you guys.
Seattle, we love you guys too. Everyone else, we don't love you. We just like you.
Yeah.
You guys need to step up your listening and downloading. Tell all your friends to download and subscribe to our show.
So that your state can get a shout out.
Frendspodcast.com. If you want to have any access to us on any social media, it's all there. Frendspodcast.com. This thing will be up on iTunes tomorrow, up on YouTube tomorrow, up on SoundCloud tomorrow.
Boom.
Boom. Boom
it down.
diggity. JJ, thanks for coming on. We will have you on again when you open up like 50 locations and you're huge. And we are...
At this rate, it's going to be like tomorrow.
I know,
3
seriously.
years already.
I'm taking a no, that's mine.
All right, thanks for tuning in, and we love you guys, and we will be back next week with some awesome guests. Thank you very much. Peace out.